second. A home where I'm pulled up. But yeah, go right ahead. It's not a problem.
Go ahead, man. Do what you gotta do.
But I can, yeah, I'll be able to hear and everything.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I'm on the phone call right now. What's up, boy? Hey, but when y'all get those ready, just come step outside and see me. Face, they should be getting some, you know, some things ready. Yeah, so just step outside and see me. Oh, already.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, Slakr210's talking to one of his friends.
Sorry about that.
So, just so you guys know, he can't see the chat because he's on a single phone device right now. So I'll relay any questions or comments. But can you guys hear me and him okay?
Got a sound check, 1, 2. I don't know if I'm coming in clear enough.
Yeah, I'm waiting. See, I built in a delay just to avoid buffering. So it takes a second for them to actually hear us.
All right.
So yeah, I'm getting all solid ones. Everybody hears us fine. So, well, I guess the big question is, you know, ever since that last interview I did with you, people just want to know what you've been up to, you know, what you've been doing, any plans.
You know, just surviving, just working. I mean, that's what's eating up all of my time. The last couple of years, you know, lost several jobs to film in, so I'm not in a rush to put this job in jeopardy. And it, like I said, it eats up a lot of my time, man. 6 days a week, you know, 8 to 10 hours a day, and it's usually during the morning hours, so I don't get out till evening time. And then when I get out, I'm tired. So not that I wouldn't like to get out and do shit, you know, it takes a toll. The work week takes a toll.
Did you hear about that ruling? I don't remember exactly where it was in Texas, but there was a case where somebody sued for not being allowed to open carry in City Hall, and he won. So
no, I haven't heard about that yet.
Yeah, I don't remember what city it was in, but there's case law now. They have to allow open carry in City Hall. So.
Okay, in Texas, wow. Okay, I have to look into that one because as far as I know, man, I know inside City Hall there's like metal detectors and secured areas. That's where the prevention usually comes. Like you can carry up to secured areas, but I think once wow, so I'd have to look into that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, somebody was posting it earlier, the link to it, but yeah, it was good to see. You know, they imposed a $9,000 fine now for every person that City Hall rejects in the public areas. They get fined $9,000.
So cool. Okay, I mean it could just be, you know, local to that jurisdiction, but that's a win.
Yeah, it's just, you know, slow and steady. Yes, but no, Master John, that's in Texas. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading all these comments here. Make sure.
Yeah, no, not a problem.
So anybody, if you got questions for him, just feel free to ask him, man. I might open up the phone line a little bit and let you guys call in and talk to him directly. But have you been keeping up on all the open carries and stuff everybody's been doing?
Yeah, I try to, man. I try to keep an eye on all of that and see how it goes. I mean, you got to be aware on how other cities, other police forces, and even my local ones are acting towards other people. It helps me gauge the response I might get. You know, like CJ, for example. I mean, if he gets a bad response, if he open carries, I'm sure I'm going to get a negative response. You know, I hate to use the race thing, but him being a pretty clean-cut looking white gentleman and me looking like a typical thug, you know, I'm sure if he gets a bad response, I know I would. So it kind of helps me gauge what kind of reaction I might get from different law enforcement agencies.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know if you know of Crazy Carl, but he's down in Texas, and I believe he's in the Fort Worth area, and
I think so.
yeah, he's been doing some open carries lately, and he had an incident where a cop came up to him and did a Terry frisk, and the question came up of whether that was legal or not, and Todd said it wasn't. That cop
No,
had no right.
no, because even when you get your license, it specifies. When you take the class, a lot of instructors don't tell you this, but my brother purchases the yearly Texas law books, and it helps break down the laws a little bit more layman's terms. And it even specifies in there, not only if you read the law and look into it and able to understand it, uh, the license itself is to be treated just like any other source of identification. So you would have to, just because you're possessing a weapon, you still would have to commit a crime to be stopped. And a Terry frisk can only occur if a legal reason, like a cop just can't roll up to me because I'm walking down the street, jump out his car and say, hey, I'm performing Terry real fast. Oh, you're good. Go ahead about your business. Like, he can't do that. He has to suspect me of something, to even perform that, because he has to have a reason to be there, and then his reason to be there has to have a suspicion to want to do that. So no, it's not legal.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Oh, it was the city I was talking about was Austin, Texas. That's where the open carry in the city hall.
Okay, okay.
So
You see, in Austin, yeah, they're one like San Antonio, man. They like to buck a lot of the state laws in regards to gun rights, man. They're pretty anti-gun, man. McAnus, man, he's openly, he tries to pretend like he isn't. He's openly anti-gun.
yeah, of course some people are wondering how do you feel about other people saying they don't agree with cursing at cops during audits.
Yeah, that point comes up a lot, and then that specifically addresses me, specifically. So, I don't have a problem with it, man. It's like I tell people, you know, rights are more individual based and not group based. Man, I can't tell you how to express your speech or your religion or your anything. So a person like me who's naturally vulgar, even when I talk to my homeboys, I'm always cussing and fuck this and oh this bitch that and oh this this motherfucker this. Like, I'm just naturally vulgar. So when I get irate, it comes out even more. So to judge me, I mean, so it's not, so the mass doesn't accept it. So does the mass get to say that my speech gets to get limited because they don't agree with it? Like, it doesn't happen like that. The way I express my rights is specific to my individuality. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to agree with what I'm saying. It's like I don't have to agree with what you're saying. But the ultimate right of the First Amendment is to protect the fact that if you don't agree with me, you still can't stop me. You still can't prevent me from expressing myself how I see fit. And if I feel like using vulgarity and degrading them and making them feel like shit, I can't physically assault them. So I have to do the next best thing. I can't put my hands on these cops because we all know the outcome of that. I lose every time. They've got guns, they've got batons, they've got the numbers, they've got the funds. So the next best thing to do, if I can't physically express my grievance, is to verbally express it.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of people are agreeing with you too. Sinbad asks if there's any update from that fat effort at the courthouse. The last time that he watched you, they unlawfully arrested you. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. With it, I go back on the 28th of February for another hearing, but I put in some more motions, so we're gonna see how that goes. But uh, the state has been trying. They're still wanting to go forward with it. So if they want to try, because they're not pushing the assault, because that's what they arrested me on. Assault by threat. It was the arresting charge, and I'm actually going to court for the disorderly conduct, which is a side charge. They haven't even brought up the assault. They're not even looking into that. They're avoiding that at all costs. They're only pushing the disorderly conduct, and I go back to court for that on the 28th of February. And after I get done with this, hopefully it gets dismissed. If not, it'll get postponed like usual, for trying to trying to take away time and money and effort to me wanting to get this taken care of. After that gets done, I'm going to see what they want to do about that assault, because there's still, I believe it's Bill B who put up the 200 to get me out. There's still his $200 that's sitting at a bondsman that they have to find out the outcome of that case before they can give me that money back. You know what I'm saying? So before I can return it to that gentleman, I have to even get this case taken care of. If the state decides to sit on it for 2 years, that's $200 that this gentleman has to, it's just put on hold until they figure out what's going to happen.
Yeah. Sorry, let's see. Oh, well, thanks for stopping in, South Georgia. Invictus says hello.
Always a pleasure, yeah.
So, now one of the kind of silly questions here, but do you have a favorite weapon? Like, is there like your go-to?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's hard because there's always preferred favorites, but it also depends on the situation. You know, for home defense, I mean, I prefer to pick up a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? I love my rifle to death, but I figure if I gotta walk out of my room, I like to have that power behind it. You know, a good quick punch to the gut that really can hurt somebody. But I mean, there's nothing like the feel of a handgun, because I mean it's close. You don't have to worry about that. If I walk out with a shotgun, I mean, depending on how close this intruder is, he could deter it. You know, with the handgun, it prevents that even more. But it all depends on the scenario. If I'm out hunting hogs, you know, I'd like to have my rifle, that big 308. That'll put a hole in a pig's chest. But if I'm at home, like I said, a good 20 gauge or a good 12 gauge kick to the gut can stop somebody.
Yeah, that 308, man, wow. Yeah, that's got some kick. You ever shot a 50?
No, I like to. I've looked into wanting to buy one, but for right now, that's excessive for me. I have no need for it, right. So it's kind of like it'd be this purchase that I can't afford right now. Like, once I get the extra money to be able to just buy a gun, I mean, because most of the guns are kind of frivolous in retrospect, because I plan to never actually use them. It's just more for going to the range and having fun. Right. But the 50 cal, I can't even see myself at a range. The sound of that.
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough. Back when I used to do off-roading, one of the guys in the off-road club, he owned a lot of property, and he had a 50 rifle, and he had plowed up a big berm, and we were just, target shooting at it, and I shot it once, and I made the mistake of not butting all the way up first.
Oh.
So, yeah, I learned that lesson the hard way.
Like a Clydesdale right to your shoulder.
Tay Lynn says, for fuck's sake, tell Slacker I love him and go ahead and get that part out of the way. Blow her a kiss.
She knows I love her too. She knows it, man. Even like, I'd be lurking in all the chats, man, but she knows I do.
Hey, monkey. So, yeah, yeah. I learned, like I said, though, I learned that lesson the hard way, man. I never did that again, but that thing kicks so hard. So
yeah, I just seen the videos from it, man, and I can't wait. But I'm in no rush.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, so I got somebody else. Oh, Samantha Brownstone says hello. So,
Samantha,
is anybody interested in calling in, asking Southside a question? Oh, that got a little better now. We can actually see you. Before, your face was in the shadows.
Okay, now let me readjust myself and put myself back in the shadows.
Oh, you lost it, Tay? Well, I don't even know if anybody even wants to, No point in putting. You know, see, I had a cyber stalker, man. I actually had to like change the number like 50 times. The guy was calling me so much.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was real crazy, man. But let's see. If you guys do call, just remember it's a Google number. So it'll be. I have to hit 1 to accept. Blah blah blah. So. How many auditors do you think have real attorneys? Odd question.
Wow. I mean, I'd have to assume all of them. I mean, until their bluff gets called, I mean, you gotta assume that they're prepared for what they're doing.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't have an attorney. Like, I really don't see the need for one. Nobody would represent me anyway, so I feel there's no need to contact it. Like, I'll deal with these court cases myself and just take it for what it is.
Yep. Denise Lynn says hello.
Hello, Denise.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard, but earlier today, Cybertron, his uncle was killed by a cop. So
No shit.
we don't know the specifics yet. They're saying.
Well, regardless of the specifics, man, my condolences for somebody. Like, whether they ruled it justified or not, I mean, the loss is still going to be there, regardless of the outcome.
Right. They wouldn't give him any information.
Oh, of course not. Of course not, man. That's the way they work, man. They're gonna sweep it under the rug or cover it up or find a way to justify it before they give any information out, because they got to make sure everything they put out corroborates with their story. So.
Yeah, it sucks. They told him there's a 6-day hold before they'll say anything. So.
Wow, I mean that's unusual. I mean, well, where's he from?
He's in
Like,
Colorado. I don't
Colorado.
know.
So I'm pretty sure in Colorado, after shootings, the chief or whoever has held immediate press responses. So that pretty sure falls within the 6 days that they're claiming has to happen.
Somebody's saying that there's already been 10 police shootings in the 2019.
That's fucking absurd. I mean, they're trigger happy. You know, the individuals that are trained to de-escalate and to you know, not have to resort to violence are the ones most prone to violence.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Hey, Sixth Estate. So, yeah. Everybody, please pass on your condolences to him if you see him in the chat or something. So.
That's sad.
They said that his uncle was the second of 3 gunshot victims on Wednesday. I thought it happened today, but apparently it happened Wednesday. So, nobody here has any questions for him? Now, I mean, see, people get tongue-tied now. Now that you're actually here. Yeah, we don't know if they're justified or not. Even Cybertron said, you know, if it's justified, it's justified. But he just wants to know.
Yeah, I mean, give him something. I mean, his family, you know, they just have this loss to deal with and no answers or nothing, you know. And then to have to go a week like that, that's hardcore. That's hardcore to go a week without knowing. Like, I mean, because I always assume most of the time it's not justified. That's just my personal beliefs. But even if it is, like you said, just give them some kind of answer. Let them know, because whatever they told him, if they do say it's justified, they'll know if they're lying or not just from them knowing that individual. You know what I'm saying? If that was the way he would act or what he would do or something, you know, he would, you know, they would know. So just give them something, man. Let's just put it behind them. But like I said, I feel like they need time like that just to make sure that all the story corroborates before they put anything out. They have to make sure that they're 100% sure that they can get away with it first.
Right. talk to them for a second. My mom's. I gotta help my mom with something real quick. I apologize.
No, not a problem. I don't mind. I don't know what to say. I don't see the chance. It's gonna be dead air for a little bit. Don't really know what to say. It's kind of awkward.
Sorry, guys. You know, certain things she can't do alone. Denise asks if you get your tattoo yet. Which one?
Oh, I got a few planned coming up. No, the last one I got was the chest tap. That was the last one I got on Memorial Day.
That neck one had to tickle, man. I know the one on the back of my neck hurt.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I got more planned to go above it and behind it as well.
Yeah, the back of the neck and the wrist.
Oh yeah, the wrist. I'll tell you what. When I got my Harlequin, when they went around that bone on the wrist, oh that was something else.
Wobbly Boost is telling me you're the best guest ever.
Appreciate it. I mean, I ain't doing much. I mean, they had dead air for a little bit there, but appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, don't start with that crap in here. Jeez.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is. I'll answer whatever they got to say, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people.
Well, no, it was
from different associations.
It was just.
Like, I don't hate anybody.
Somebody. Well, there's that pain in the ass mouse, and somebody was trying to encourage him, and that shouldn't be permitted.
all right, yeah, whatever.
But
I can hear you though.
Scooter McD says, let him know if you're ever in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He walked with you at Olmos Park.
Oh, already? Yeah, definitely. I have plans to visit there. Like I said, after I get a few things situated, I plan on getting my license back up and definitely making some trips throughout the state of Texas. Hopefully, like maybe going outside, but mainly just, you know, I plan on visiting Texas first before a place where I'm comfortable in what I know and my knowledge before I start venturing outward. This is an area that the gun knowledge I have, like I said, I'm pretty comfortable in. I pretty know it's solid, it's sound. I could find the information I need when it comes to back in the other states. I'd have to start looking into their laws, looking into all that, and you know, it takes some time to get to that. But definitely, yes, I will give a heads up to. I'll probably put it out there ahead of time to some, you know, so that way you can let everybody know or something like that when I plan on making the trip to say like Dallas or Houston, or Austin, maybe down to the Valley. Because I'm going to be hitting Padre this summer just to visit South Padre. It's a beautiful island. Probably the most beautiful island in Texas, in my opinion. And would definitely probably take my gun.
Daryl O'Donnell is asking what happened with the complaints from the open carry with Sheepdog and Todd. Which
a lot of my open carries have been with those two gentlemen. Like they're two that I tend to go out a lot with. You know, I love them to death. Comfortable with them. Monk 83.
Hey, Monk.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. You're on the speakerphone.
Yeah, man. So I got two questions for Slakr. The first one being, I know you know that you like running your mouth when you're out there and they're getting in your face and stuff like that. Do you find that makes them back off a little bit more, makes them act a little bit right in the terms of, okay, I'm not going to be able to push this motherfucker around anymore? Or, you know, is that just like a defense a defense mechanism that just comes up? Because that's a pretty intimidating situation, especially what you go through.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's more of a defense mechanism. I didn't mean to cut you off, I'm so sorry. It's more defense mechanism. I feel like when I do get like that, it entices them to want to, like, buck their chest up more and want to get in my face. I wish they kind of ease back, but I feel like they go into that and I get irate and I start getting aggravated and cussing. I feel like they take that as now he's a threat, so they start getting on the defensive and want to. I don't feel like want to intentionally push the issue. I think they subconsciously push the issue, just believing that their word is bond and I need to listen to it. So they just go into straight dictator mode and try to force me into their way, rather than, listen to what I got to say, even though, like you said, I am being pretty fucking dick about it.
And my second question is, how's your hearing?
I'm sorry?
I said, my second question is, how's your hearing?
My hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, up until this point, I thought it was pretty good.
Well, what I'm getting at is the giant size of your steel balls clanking together all the time has to affect it at some point, right?
Oh shit, no. I appreciate it.
No, that's all I wanted to say, man. Much love and respect. You've been an influence on myself in many ways, shapes, and form, and you continue to influence a shitload of people out there. So thank you for that.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. And like I said, if I am influencing people, man, I hope it's influencing them to just do, like I said, whatever they think is right. Like, not to necessarily be, cuss cops out and be a dick like I am. Like, if that's what they want to do, then you have that right, but no consequences from it. But even if you want to go out there and be polite, ID, whatever, like, it don't matter to me. Like, if I'm influencing you to do you and be you regardless, then hey, that's what it's about. And much love, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. All right, guys. Have a good night. I'll be in the chat.
Thanks, man. Well, that was Monkey, everybody. If anybody wants to call in, ask Slakr any questions, now's a good time.
I forgot to mention, if my memory serves me, Monkey's a Marine, right? I want to thank him for his service.
Yes, he is indeed a Marine. He's also, gotten arrested quite a few times, man, and he does actually remind me a lot of you. So now that I think about it, I think you two together, man, that would be awesome.
And I think about stuff like that because a lot of people are like, oh, I'd love to go out with you and things, and I'd love to have these people out there. And excuse me just a second, I'm gonna keep talking. I'd love to have these people out there, and I don't know, interact with me. But I'm just not so quick to put somebody in danger like that, because I know the situations I've put myself in. It only encourages these cops to want to get violent. When I go out there with a gun, I'm a young, my nationality on my birth certificate is white, but from appearance, I'm a young Hispanic male, tattooed, probably looks like a fucking gangbanger or ex-con, holding a rifle, being loud and vulgar with these police officers. That puts a pretty big target on my back and any other individual that's out there with me. And I know a lot of people are like, well, you need numbers for the sake of numbers. But I would hate to be out there and these cops get trigger happy and let alone just injure, let alone kill somebody, knowing that they were out there just wanting to support me. Like that's a burden that if it happened, I'd carry, but it would eat me. It would eat me inside, knowing that my actions put somebody else at risk. I put my life at risk more than the consequences that I face. I don't know if I'm willing to put somebody else in that same situation.
Yeah, guys, I don't have any control over his volume, so if it's a little low, I apologize, but...
Okay, yeah, I'll start speaking. I'll start speaking like I got a pair. Like I got a pair that Monkey was just talking about.
Let's see, Ben says hello. Oh, sorry, I'm scrolling and looking back.
Oh, what's up, Ben? Hey, I do plan on calling you, sir. Do not think that I've avoided it. I've just been real busy.
Who is it? What the heck are people talking about? What the hell?
No, I can't see.
This.
I have no idea what's going on.
No, sorry. It's one of these stupid mouses. One of his alternate accounts. He's got like 50 of them. The guy's just a nuisance, you know. Big Nick says, try being a 6'2", 225-pound black man walking around the back of PD stations.
Oh yeah, like it's 100%, man. Like people, and that's why like I got mad respect, especially you know what I'm saying, for the black auditors out there because they've got an even bigger target on their head, just in the fact that the racism that's been systematic in our society since forever. You know what I'm saying? So they're already got a target on their head being, you know, black males in the society. So on top of that, you put him like walking into the lion's den. Oh yeah, much respect. And like if I was doing what I'm doing with Joe Citizen Hope. Now when I saw that this young black man was out in Baltimore, man, a real fucked up area when it comes to police corruption, you know, standing up for himself and doing what he wants in his own way, not caring if it offended the cops or anyone about, you know, around there, you know, standing up for the corruption and calling these people out for what it is. That made me feel like, you know what, maybe I don't have to be like, you know, and I love these people to death, but like, you know, and in Age or Patrick or anybody else that chooses to come across politely and choose to come across like, you know, in a calm, respected manner, it made me feel like, you know what, you can be with who you are. Fuck if they don't like it or not. You know, if these cops don't like it, it's not their job to like it. It's their job to fucking hold them off, you know. So yeah, one of my biggest influences to even get me out there was Joe Citizen Hope. Like I said, to see him standing up to that, I take balls, man. I take balls to be a fucking to stand up to corruption anyway, and to be in a situation. So yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Get off the Wi-Fi. I'm not on Wi-Fi. Any delay is just a hiccup in the connection with him. So I've got 0 dropped frames and perfect stream. So
as far as I've been hearing perfectly. If I'm cutting it out, I'm not sure why, but everything on my end, I see you perfectly.
You cut in a little bit here.
I'm coming in fine. It could be as I'm walking away.
Yeah, you were cutting in and out a little bit. Hey, Spoons. Let's see. Black. Hold on, I gotta scroll back. He was answering about people are trying to antagonize Ben about his comment about people cussing during an audit. They're just taking it out of proportion. He didn't mean he hates activists that curse. He just meant that it's not his preferred method, and you know, it's up to you.
Yeah, I totally feel that, man. And like I said, I don't hate Ben if he doesn't like this. Like I'm not gonna. I guess people are trying to cause me to hate people or something. I guess I don't know if they don't like someone that cusses. It don't matter to me. I've met Ben. You know what I'm saying? To me, he's always treated me with respect, treated me right. So I've got just because if he says he doesn't think if people should curse in the audit, that's his opinion. He has every right as a human, as an American, you know, to think what he wants. I'm not gonna hate him for thinking differently. You know, if he comes up to me and starts telling me, hey, you're a fucking punk because you talk to cops like that, then maybe we got a problem from the way he's addressing it. But I just don't like the blanket statement as in like, you know, the normal, you know, that, you know, there needs to be a specific way. Like, there is no way to audit. An auditor is, like I said, rights are individual based. The way I express it can only be expressed by me, you know. Do I care if you lose your rights? Yes, I do, because if you lose your rights, then I lose my rights. It's a domino effect. But can I tell you how to express your rights? No, I can't. You're an individual that has your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own personality. Only you can express your rights in your way. So, yeah, there is no normal. There is no, oh, people should. This is the way it should be. There is no should be, because we're not all the same. We're not all robots. We all have different ways of living, experiencing life, so we all have different ways of reacting to situations, you know? So like I said, am I upset that he doesn't like people who cuss in audits? No, man. I still love him to death. I got no reason to hate him or anyone else who doesn't like the way I do things. I'm not going to hate you for that. You know what I'm saying? We may debate, disagree on things, but as long as you don't start to degrade me as a person and start coming off like you want to like argue and fight, we can take it to that level too. If you just want to talk about the differences, man, I'm more than willing to do that. You know, just don't try to create a blanket like this is the way it should be. This is the way this is the way that. Because now you, that's like I said, because that's why I don't fuck with a lot of like main organizations, because it's the outcome is always, every answer I always get is like, oh, when we get the money and we get some fucking wins behind us, then yeah, we got you, but we really can't win a lawsuit with what you do. And it's like, well, if I was out for lawsuits, I would ruin what I'm doing.
Yeah, before it passes, Monkey made a very good statement. He said, excuse me, he says people can question the method, but can they question the message? Did you hear that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they can question the message, because the message is still, you have the right to say and express yourself how you want. You know, like here in the Texas disorderly conduct, they'll lead you to believe that cursing in public is disorderly conduct. When disorderly conduct, I don't know the exact wording of it right now, but basically is speech, pretty much fight speech. Like if I walk up to you and I say, you're a fucking pussy, that's disorderly conduct, because that's going to make you want to get violent or angry with me. But if I go outside and I'm like, oh man, this fucking day is fucking beautiful, man, I love to fuck it like a pussy, that's not disorderly conduct. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fine line on the law, but they'll lead you to believe that just cursing in public is disorderly conduct. That's not how it is. You know, I'm a vulgar person, I cuss. You don't like it, cover your fucking ears or move the fuck around me. You know, like, do I care if I offend somebody? No, I don't. Do I care if their rights get violated? Yes, I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if I offend people. I'm out to live my life and enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm out to make sure that I'm taken care of, my family's taken care of, and I enjoy life and have a good time in doing it. You know, so if the way I express myself offends you, you know, relocate. You can confront me and you can address that to me, and cool, right on. You know, my bad, I'll apologize, but I'm not going to stop. You're not going to make me stop because you don't like what I'm saying or what I'm doing. You have every right to do it.
Yeah, Daryl O'Donnell keeps asking, he's really wanting to know, what happened with the open carry audit complaints outside of Hardburger Park? The complaints on the officers.
Oh, nothing. Like every other one. I mean, these complaints fall on deaf ears. Like, I tried hitting IA, but had to go. I went to what internal. It's not IA here. What the fuck is it called? It was just a ping pong back and forth. Nobody was willing to take a complaint. It was just from SAPD headquarters to some. It's a form of IA, but that's not what it's called here. I can't recall the name of it, but it was a ping pong back and forth until pretty much time passed and it was null and void to follow the point. I mean, and that's what they do. But they all play stupid and don't act like they know what to do. Like even in the court system, with right now what's going on, it's a constant. Are you ready? Okay, boom. I'll ask for stuff, and they give it to me the day of court and expect me to overlook it and then we'll reschedule for this. You know, if I keep rescheduling, I'm losing days out on work. That's money I'm losing. It's time I'm wasting that I got to sit up there. It's all a process to make you want to quit before an outcome. You know, keep working out and just let it all go. So I mean, and I understand that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen with me. You know, it's a long process of it's like telling out of prison. You know, with a spoon. It's a long, dreadful process. You know, I'm glad I got a lifetime to do it. So.
That's Gonzo. That was well said. He said the legal system is a joke, but nobody's laughing.
100%.
That's a very true statement. Yeah, Monkey, me too. Big Nick made a comment that he doesn't curse because he wants to make sure he gets AdSense so the videos get monetized.
Oh, yeah, and then even if you have people that are like, oh man, they do this for, you know, okay, I do it for views because the more views it gets, the more people see it, the more, like I said, whether they question its right or wrongness and whatever they take out of it, but it gets it out there. Cause, but on top of that, they're like, oh, consider like, holy shit, I've been doing this 2 years and I've made maybe $1,000 off AdSense because every fucking video I put up there, it's oh well, we can't, it's too this, it's too that, like the vulgarity of it. Like if I was in it to make money, I would not, I wouldn't curse, I wouldn't even do that because I try to be like, oh, well, I need to cut it back so that way I can start getting these people to put their ads in my video. I don't give a shit, you know, like. It's definitely not about the money, man. Like I'll fucking show you all my AdSense statements for the last 2 years. I'll go like I'll go 3 months before I see the $100 you have to reach before it gives you that. You know.
Hey, DJ Gemini's on the phone. What's up, man?
What's going on, Brian? First of all, I want to say hello to everybody. Second of all, Slakr, I gotta tell you thank you because, like, the controversy that we're having about the cursing and non-cursing, let me say this. For a lot of people in the South, we have to come across that way because half of the time the cops not even paying attention to us until we do use profanity to get their attention, to really get their attention. That's why even when you started with your videos way back in the gap, everything still came across the way it needed to come across because you was very respectful in the beginning, only until they disrespected you. I've always respected that about you. The main people that are doing the complaining are the main ones who really don't understand when the auditor is standing in front of that judge and that's not video time. That be real charges that can really mess up somebody's life.
For real.
So for the ones who really and I'm sorry, I'm going to say it like this, for somebody I may offend, it is what it is. See all the keyboard gangsters that be hiding behind? Bro, y'all don't know what it feels to be going in front of that judge or going to talk to that prosecutor constantly, going back and forward. If you have a job, you're missing work. If that was supposed to be your family time, you're missing your family time because you got to deal with this court case. For a lot of y'all that really don't understand that, this be serious stuff that within the community, the police are sitting there laughing at us. For the ones that's sitting up there paid to look at the computer screen, they're sitting back laughing at us right now because of the pettiness that we're doing. And we shouldn't even be doing all that. That's why I give it up to Slakr, because Slakr, even when he was working for Hollywood, the restaurant, they even went to that man's job to mess with him. So for a lot of y'all that sit back and just point fingers, I'm sorry. Y'all need to really get a grip on what we really go through before y'all really say something.
And two, on that note, man, people always get. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, Slakr. You got it.
I was just saying, kind of on that note too. Even with the cops, man, people are always, like, oh, why do you not like the cops, right? Because I don't. I flat out tell them, man. I look at it like a gang, like, because I was commenting with some people in another chat room last night about a comment I made when Ben brought up an officer dying. I'm like, oh well, she probably deserved it. I look at it like a gang, literally, man. I grew up in gang environment, so when somebody from what would be considered a rival was to die, would I feel sad about that? Nah, man, that should be sweat. That's the same way I feel about these police. I had somebody last night tell me, this is the victim of a domestic violence crime, a pretty hardcore one, told me a story last night. I was gonna record it, but she was so distraught that I didn't even want to put her through none of that. I was like, it ain't even worth me recording you to put it out there. I'll just tell the story. a victim of a fucking of a domestic disturbance yesterday morning. Had her door kicked in by the sheriff, bro. Like, she's half decent. Early in the morning, just dropped her kids off from school, half decent. She hears her gate open, so she goes out. She goes to look. When she goes to look, she sees two cops. So she goes to prepare herself to get decent. When the cop sees what she's doing and starts banging on the door, tell her, "You need to open this door. You need to open this fucking door, bitch." So she opens the door slightly. He shoves his foot in the door and starts putting his finger face. Open the fucking door, bitch. Open the fucking door. Are you filling the blank? She's like, yeah, I'm filling the blank. Open the fuck. So right there, identified her as the victim. Open the fucking door, bitch. Then proceeded to forcefully open the door, throw her in handcuffs, and stand her outside in front of her neighbors for 20 minutes, half decent, while he berated her for a good minute, talking shit to her. And then at the end of the whole ordeal, had the nerve to apologize and give her his phone number, his personal cell phone number, for her to contact him. You know what I'm saying? So why would I fucking like an individual that does that to a woman who's 5'4" and 110 pounds? This dude had to be like 6'3", 2 something, you know what I'm saying? Bullying this little fucking woman, and then had the nerve at the end of it to hit on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here, man. I got no respect for people like that. You know, and then on top of that, these, because he was serving a arrest warrant for somebody who used to previously live at that address. You know what I'm saying? And they don't wear body cams, warrant officers. You know what I'm saying? So where's the fuck, like, how fucked up is that?
Well, also, here's the thing, too. We're asking them to police themselves, and they never do. Whenever we either go in there and ask for a complaint form, or we literally bring up something that's serious to them, and we show them the videotape, they try to make it seem like the videotape don't matter.
Yeah. They try to deter you in every way they can, you know, to prevent you following through with it.
And that's why, like, prime example, when I first started watching this community, I'll be honest to everybody that's on here. It was 2011. I had just got out the military after being injured in combat. I had to get a profession for my family to keep up the lifestyle, so I became an over-the-road truck driver. You won't know who was really educating me about all these different laws and all this different in all these different states. It was this community. That's why and me and Brian really haven't talked offline recently, but it's like this is why it hit so hard, because all these states I was going to, y'all was letting me know what to look out for. Y'all was letting me know the professionalism or lack thereof from them officers to really know, like, when to deflect and everything. I wasn't trained that in the military of 12 years, but when I got with this community, that's why I really hate the beefing, because half of the ones that do beef, they're not auditors. They have an opinion. Everybody have a right to their opinion, but when it comes time for us sitting, because even in my situation, it kind of was an auditing type situation, but I can't even put out the videos here because of my state laws. Because if I put them out here, it's gonna knock down all the rest of the cases. But this community has taught me that. And to be honest, it hurts that they're sitting back laughing. They're trying to stop the main ones that's making a difference, like relevant. They're trying to make y'all non-relevant. But I don't know. It's confusing to say. It's like for real. It's like I have the words, but I don't want to, like, go too much overboard with it.
And I think because it's like you don't want to get castrated, because no matter what, somebody's gonna take what you say wrong. Like, that's another reason why I stayed away. Because like I sit and watch, like I watch some of these live videos pretty often. I watch these videos that come out, and I see the comments and I see the separation that's coming. And that's another reason why I distance myself, man, because on both sides I associate with people. Every little beef that's going on out there, I associate with people on both sides of it and have love for both sides. And it's like, okay, an example, someone I loved dearly when I was younger, I had a friend that they didn't like. They had a personal reason not to like them. They're like, oh, I don't like this person, yada yada. And I told them, I was like, well, I still fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, and I told them straight up, I go, if you make me choose between fucking with you or fucking with them, I'm going to cut you off, because if you gave a fuck about me, you wouldn't make me choose. Now, out of respect for you, I will not discuss this person around you. I will not bring this person around you. Me and that person's relationship will be separate from yours, and vice versa. I will not discuss you around them, and I will not, yada yada. But you're not going to make me choose, because if you make me choose, you obviously don't know me and don't give a fuck about me. So you're going to be the one that gets cut. So that's why I kind of step away at the same time, because, like I said, I know people on both sides, and I'm not going to just fall into that trap. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have a problem with these people, they can address me and we can settle that. But I'm not trying to get involved in all that. It's hard.
For this last thing, I'll bring up. Here's the main reason why I stand by your videos. Real tough. Most of the time, the Second Amendment don't apply to minorities. You have showed that yes, it does. And with educating your court system about it. That's why it's like this whole thing was launched for educational purposes. And it seemed like the individuals that are kind of coming around now, they're not coming around for the same, either to add to the education or to motivate. They're just coming around just to like pick, poke, and everything else. So I'll leave you with that. I thank you, and I hope you come back to doing videos soon, bro.
Oh yeah,
Real
definitely,
talk.
man. I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. I got plans for the future. Like 2019, I plan on picking it back up, man. I got work squared away, man, and I got a few new toys in sight that I want to get out and play with. So
I dig it. I know y'all dealing with a lot in Texas, but I'm just personally saying I want to see Slakr back.
yes, sir.
All right. Holla at y'all.
Already. You have a good night.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. I got like people calling, people texting, people this, people that.
And I'm sorry, man. I know I can get to ranting too. Once I'm long-winded at times.
Oh, I know, man. We all are. But got Big Nick. Just call my regular number, man. You got my main number. Big Nick wanna holler at you. I'll have to step away in a minute to help Mom, but you guys can still talk. Just call the main line, Big Nick.
Oh, I might have to go run and grab. Let me step aside right quick. Face. Mine are about to die, and I need some wires at home. Solid.
Yeah, you guys, DJ Gemini's got a lot of wisdom. I have talked to him a little bit offline, and he's definitely got a lot of wisdom to share.
On the table if you want to.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's going on, BK? How you doing?
Alright, man. Just waiting for Slakr to come back.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if y'all were listening to me, man. Y'all can hear me.
I'm trying to go outside to get away from the barking dog all of a sudden.
Yeah. Alright, Slakr. We got Big Nick on the phone, man.
Yes, sir. What's up,
Southside, what's going on, brother?
How you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Just hanging it up, man. Look, first of all, you the man. I don't even have to say no more. You already know you're the man, and I don't think anybody should be criticizing you because just like you
sir.
You know, so, you know, any criticism I take and I apply. Either I apply it or I throw it away. You know, it's just like, you know, Johnny Carter basically said, if it don't apply, let it fly. You know? So, my style is my style. Trust me, I get it over and over and over again in my comments. You talk too much. Stop complimenting. Stop complimenting these people. You should have said this, or you did. You know what? I don't have a script before I have a camera. Nick that's behind the camera is Nick without the camera. That's me.
Man.
I'm not auditioning for a role. I'm not acting. Nobody wrote a script out for me. You know, so I'm not gonna. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, and I'm even a little watered down, man. People are like, oh man, you're too up the top. Like, you still even get a watered down version, man. Like, there's a lot more I like to say and do, but I know that the community as a whole, you know, is an extent of some of my, I don't know, like my personality traits off the camera. Like, they're not accepting of that, you know. But I even water it down a bit, and it's still saying I'm too much.
And you know what the community needs to understand, man, is that all of us love the community because you guys feel our pain. You know, we're one. We each know what we're going through. However, each individual auditor does it for his personal community first. You know? So, let's not act like we're some national organization yet, you know, where it's one community for all, because I'm doing it for where I live at right now. I can't worry about doing it in Chicago or doing it in New York or doing it in Texas. I have to worry about doing it in Fort Lauderdale and Miami area because that's the area that impacts me. I need to build that area up. I need another Big Nick out there. You need another Southside Slakr. Brian needs another Brian King. You know, that's what it's all about. And then once we take over our communities, then we take over our counties, then we take over our states, then we come together, and that's all it is. You know, stop putting all this pressure on us because we're doing the best we can. We're fighting every single day. I don't mind being criticized from a troll, but let's stop criticizing each other within our own families. How about that?
Yeah, 100% agree, man. Cause it took a minute for me early on, man. Like, you can see in some of the videos I put out there, the comments would get to me, and people talking shit would get to me. But you're right. You gotta brush this shit off, man. Like, people are gonna say what they want, and you just gotta keep doing you. Like, and as far as criticizing each other, I think the criticism to an extent, man. I feel like we should be able to openly, I guess it's criticism, like openly oppose what we don't like, but keep an open mind to not so much be like, well, that's wrong because it's not the way that the mass agrees with. Like, you know, like that's not the way of thinking, because sooner or later there's going to be someone out there who actually interacts with the cop in the way that I do. You know what I'm saying? Because he's angry and upset, and the cop has to know how to handle that situation, not the angry, upset man. Angry, upset man didn't go to the training.
That's right. That's right. And to me, that
man is feeling like raw emotion.
And you know what? But you just made a good point. That you know how people ask you in your chat or in your comments or even face to face, why do you antagonize the cops? Right? That is the part that we have to get past, to teach these people that these people cannot afford to be antagonized. There is no room for antagonization when it comes to the cops. They cannot afford to be antagonized. Period. Because my life is literally in your hand. So, I don't know how to express that anymore, but if anybody can express that for me better, I really wish they would. Because just think about it. People who hold your life in their hand, they can't afford to be antagonized. This should be impossible. Right? So, let's fight those type of fights first. Let's educate our people first. If you guys have noticed, and I'm getting this in my chat a lot or in my comments, Big Nick, you kind of going soft a little bit. I'm not going soft, because you know what? The cops refuse to learn. But my constituents, my six, my community, my people around me, they're learning. So I don't have to kick and scream at the cops anymore, because it's not about them anymore. It's about the person next to me that's watching me talk to the cops. That's what it's about.
Because the more the community knows, the less the cops can play ignorant. You know what I'm saying? The less they can play dumb because the community's involved. Yeah, definitely.
Can you imagine if your entire community, where you live at right now, Slakr, where you live at right now, your entire community knew everything you know and felt the way you felt? And do you think if an unarmed person, an unarmed minority, got gunned down by the cops, what's the chance of the cop being cleared in that community? I mean, just straight up clear, like, we don't find anything. At least he will go on trial, don't you think?
He should definitely, but no, he'll get cleared. He'll be cleared. It'll be a justified shooting, but he should definitely see. I mean, I went to trial.
Now it'd be a justified shooting. But I mean, if America was woke, if America decided to take back their country from these people, these public servants, and watch them and let them know that we're the bosses, do you think these unarmed, quick, fear for my life killings will still be happening?
Oh, no. If the cops knew that there was consequences to their actions, no, without a doubt. If the cops knew that they'd be held accountable, they'd use more awareness when firing their weapon.
Right. So my focus is to no longer act the fool with the government worker, but to try my damnedest to educate the person listening to me on the side. You know what I mean? That's what my focus is. So that's what you should worry about. You be you. That's my whole point of my call is you be you. No matter who, what, people say you be you. It works for you. You're not in jail right now. You're not dead right now. And people know who you are. They respect you. Changes are being made.
Yeah.
Be you, man. Be you. Because I'm going to continue to be Big Nick. Hey, listen, I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry I get long-winded. I love you guys. I love the six. And you guys take care.
All right, brother.
All right.
You too, sir. Appreciate it, man. Love you too.
Yeah, somebody keeps asking, what is your take on Mexican Padilla?
I mean, what do you mean, like, what's my take, man? I mean,
I'm assuming his auditing style.
I mean, again, like, there is no style. That's that guy's personality, man. And, like, to assume that we go out there like Big Nick said, with scripts and I practice this in the mirror like I'm Al Pacino, you know what I'm saying, like in front of a mirror practicing my routine, you know, is absurd. Like what you see with Mexican Padilla is I'm pretty sure Mexican Padilla, and I mean he's out there risking his freedom, risking his life again, because any minority that stands up to the police instantly has their life on the line. So I mean, I don't know the guy personally, so I can't make a personal judgment on you, but I've got nothing against him. But he's making awareness to the community. He's putting it out there. So, I mean, like I said, I got no reason to like dislike the gentleman. I mean, he's doing the work, you know. Like I said, he's putting videos out there. He's raising awareness when he was able to, because to my knowledge, because you know I'm subscribed to him. To my knowledge, he's still on monitor. So, I mean, he's doing what he can with what he's able to. You know, so
right.
I respect that, and until he personally gives me a reason.
I'll be right back. I gotta go help Mom. Keep talking.
Oh, that's hard to keep talking when I got you free, you know, in the comments. Or able to answer the phone, or answer. Let me see if I can switch this like that. That's a lot louder. I don't know if I'm coming in any clearer. I had to change headphones. But fuck. Easy night. Bug. Hey, was that from mine on the table or no?
Hold on, I'm dead. Sorry.
Was that from mine on the table or no? Okay, if Bug don't mind, he can do another one from that that's on the table.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
And if Faze don't mind, he can unlock his rifle so you could chill out here still.
Hello.
Hello.
Or Nephris.
Brian.
Yeah.
Second son.
Alright, so hold on.
All right,
I would like to talk about Southside Slakr about his good work in the community, as well as comments on the content and the conduct-based regulations that are affecting the First Amendment audit community, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I want to try to start limiting the call length a little bit because we're already over an hour in.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Slacker.
Okay, cool.
Yes, we can. Hi, sir. My name is Jeremiah. I also go by Second Son News. And thank you, Brian, for taking my call. And hello to everyone out there. But Slakr, I'm new to the community. But one of the things that I noticed when I was watching some of your videos was that you would like to expose the racism that exists as it relates to the expression of the Second Amendment rights and all types of different rights. But I think you specifically mentioned Second Amendment. Basically, were you talking about color-based or property-based? Because in my view, racism is more about property ownership than it is about color of skin. And the fact that you have the right to own and possess, acquire property in almost every single state, really does bring up the issue of racism. And so, what do you have to say to that?
Well, that's eye-opening to me. Like I'm obviously aware that the racism is pretty deep, but I didn't contribute it to household, like ownership of the household. I attribute it more to color and more, I guess, neighborhood income level. Because like where I live, there's not a lot of black people where I live. It's mainly Hispanic culture or Mexican culture. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate to the minority in that aspect, and then the basic like household income of the neighborhood. You would border where I live to, at best, lower middle class, but there's a lot of there's a lot of low class households where I'm from, and that, like I said, borderline lower middle class. So I feel like racism not only is defined by skin color, but this day and age is defined by class. So I mean, if I'm understanding it right, I can see how they relate and would like to look.
Hello?
Oh, hello. Junebug, his mom's calling me. If he could call her and let her know I'm on the phone right now. Appreciate it, man.
Right.
I'm sorry about that.
We just lost you. Wait, no problem. No problem. Go ahead. We were listening.
But I think that's kind of the connection I'm making, because like I said, I look at racism. Obviously, the upfront color of somebody's skin plays a large factor in it, because a lot of times officers will visually see somebody in a specific neighborhood or in a specific area or performing a specific task and make a judgment off color of skin. But like I said, I also think it comes into like local income level, because to try to keep the tiers of society in place. You know what I mean? Keep the lower class where they're at, uneducated, unknowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? Working 40 hours blindly doing what they do, while the upper class continues to educate themselves and advance themselves a little bit further. So I don't know if that connects to what you're relating to, but I'm thinking I can make a connection there.
I thank you for that. Thank you very much for your response there. Yeah, because I feel like racism has to do with property ownership, not so much as color of skin, but the media has propagated that racism is more about the color of your skin than it is about property ownership. And in the legal world, that is just not the case. It has really a lot to do with property ownership, and the right to acquire and possess property such as firearms and things of that nature, as well as automobiles, housing, and different things of that nature. All of that relates to racism. But can I just move? I just want to move forward to the next segment, my question here, and I will let other people dialogue with you. But thank you so much for listening. part is about the content of a news report and versus the conduct of the auditor. And I think what I've been seeing is that a lot of auditors are being prosecuted for their conduct, and authorities, if you will, quote unquote authorities, are regulating the conduct of the auditor instead of looking at the content of the story, because they know that it's an easy out for them as an agency and as an authority, that they can pretty much get away with some sort of mere rationality when it comes to the scrutinizing of the constitutionality of the agency actions. And, what are your thoughts on that?
No, you hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what I tell people when people always tell me, oh, you'll never win a lawsuit. I respond, well, I don't look to win a lawsuit. But if people were awake, they wouldn't judge the lawsuit on the character of me, but the actions of the officer. They wouldn't go in there and look at the fact that I'm cussing at this officer. They would go and look at the fact that the officer violated my rights. So you're 100% right that if you demonize somebody, it unlegitimizes what they're doing in society's eyes. The worst thing you could do to somebody is label them crazy, because then nobody will listen to what they have to say. So that's kind of what they're doing. If they make the jury or the judge or whoever the fuck is the final say so in your case, focus on your action, your vulgarity and your cussing, and oh my god, he's so irate, and he's calling this cop a pig, and like I told my brother, I have no remorse. I went on a cop's dead mom for 20 minutes when he arrested me. Talking shit about his dead mom for 20 minutes. If they'd have brought that video to court and been like, look how he talks about this poor officer's dead mom for 20 minutes, just constantly berating him about that. Oh, but they wouldn't look at the fact that the officer's illegally violated my Fourth Amendment right, he's arresting me right now, yada yada. Like, they wouldn't look at that. So it's not my character that's on trial, it's the actions of the officer. But their eyes aren't open enough to see that, to understand that. So you are 100% right in the way I see things.
Thank you.
It's not my it's not my act. Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's how I feel. It's not me that's on trial. It's the officer. So who cares how I act? It's his actions. That's what we need to be looking at.
Right.
Don't sit there and say because I don't like what you do, you deserve what you got. It doesn't matter if you like what I do. Was the officer wrong?
Okay. Well, exactly. Let me ask you another question. It brings up another question for me, guys. And thanks for asking everybody in the chat who's talking here. Second Son News talking to Southside Slakr on Brian's call here. What about the shifting of the burden of proof? Do you know about the shifting of the burden of proof and how a constitutional claim or question by the auditor presented in the very beginning can actually cause a shifting of the burden of proof? Because I believe that is the case. That by every auditor out there putting forward that they're exercising constitutional rights, and having that out there in the open immediately is most likely going to work in the favor of our community, of the auditing community, and as well as the individual auditor. Because again, as you stated before, every individual has to claim their own rights, and so without that claim, wouldn't it be easy for the authorities to convert that type of conduct into some sort of just, ordinary mischievousness? What I'm taking is that anyone standing up for their rights, the cops automatically look at is you're hiding something kind of situation. Because that's what I always come across. Like, why don't you want to give me your name? Do you have a warrant? Or why do you not want to let me search the car? Is there drugs? Like, why does there have to be a reason why I don't want to let you? Why can't I just be a free individual that decides not to let myself get violated because I've done nothing wrong? Why do I have to have a justification to why I don't want you to run my name? I don't want you to run my name because I was just walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to search my car because you pulled me over for speeding, you served me my ticket, the interaction is over. Why do you don't smell nothing because I don't smoke weed or nothing like that? Like in a scenario like that, like there's no probable cause. Why should I just voluntarily let you violate me? Because the more people volunteer, like I said, the more people give them up, the more everyone loses it. Like I said, do I care if someone else loses their rights? Yes, I do, because that's going to directly affect me and my rights. But
do I care how you express them? Not really, because you can only express yourself. But I care if you lose them, because if they take one, they'll take another. If they take the next, they'll take the next. It's they test the limit of what you're willing to give up before they start taking.
Thank you. I have a last question for you, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Southside Slakr, I've never met you, and I've never met Brian. We've a lot of people in the community I've never met. Personally, I've spoken to a few on the phone. Like I said, I'm a fairly new auditor. I've done my fair amount of research as it relates to the First Amendment auditing and the effect, the legal effect of being an auditor. I have a question for you. Would you consider yourself to be a public figure because of what you do?
Like I personally don't know, but but I do not consider myself that. But at the same time, I sometimes do feel that, because there's times when I've been out and about that I have been recognized and been stopped and been like, hey man, can I take a photo with your aim? You know, I love your videos and yada yada. So when things like that happen, it starts to make me wonder, like I don't know how to explain it, but it makes me question like where I'm at. Like, damn, is there really that many people that, am I that recognizable and things like that? But for the most part, no, I don't consider myself that. I still like to consider myself just a regular cat from the South Side, just living his life, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just a regular dude.
Thank you. Thank you for that. By the way, let the record reflect that he considers himself to be, Southside Slakr, a regular dude. And also, but I think a lot of people would disagree with you on that, because you are definitely in a public figure role right now, and should be, you know, handed that status as a public figure, because you're doing some good work out there for, matters that are of, widely held public interest. So thanks for your time, and thank you, Brian. Bye, guys.
Thank you, sir. Yes, have a good evening. Thank you.
I know Carolina and Fort Worth has been trying to get through. So, Carolina, if you want to call.
Yeah, it's got a while, man. My battery's holding strong. I'm at 65%, so, like, I got a good while. I'm in the...
Yeah. Yeah, guys, when somebody's talking, don't try calling, because it just, it gets in the, the beeping just comes through and it doesn't do anything for your call. So, I mean, it doesn't make me answer it any faster. I don't want to cut people off.
Your mom mad?
So,
at me?
I'll
call her back.
Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Alright, it's Carolina and Fort Worth.
Yeah, I just listened to part of that stuff between Slakr and Second Son. Slakr, you're awesome. You know, I don't care what anybody says about your style or whatever. Sometimes you have to have a different style in order. The whole point of this is to get more people to see what we're doing and what it's about, right?
I'm sorry, you kind of broke up. I heard the last part of that.
Can you hear me, Slakr? I said the whole deal about all this is to get people aware of what we're doing and why we're doing it, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Right. Well, the way you do your stuff might appeal to some people, but not other people. Okay. So we're trying to reach every segment of society. If you're the way you do your audits, if it appeals to this section of the community or society, then keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Don't let anybody tell you to change or anything, as far as that goes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, boy, you act different when you're like not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of a mixture of several different people, man. Like when I have no need to be rude and obscene and kind of a dickhead, I'm super polite, man. Like years of Southern and military hospitality has been, strict into me, as well as some years incarcerated as a youngster. So, I mean, it's deep inbred in me, the politeness, but people just don't get to see that because I'm usually so abrasive with officers.
Well, you should be. I love that one video where the guy, the gordito guy, remember? And they arrested you instead of him when he assaulted you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then let's talk about racism for a minute. Wait, what were you saying about racism? What did you think about it as far as the police? Do you think it's there?
Do I think it's there in the police? Oh, 100%. I think it's so inbred in the police that they don't realize that their training, it's involved in their training and the way they handle any situation. I mean, it's you add the subconscious racism that they're trained, and then the fact that they're trained to fear every situation. That's not a good mixture. When you're told to fear every situation because you don't know what could happen, and then you put on top of that the stereotypes that they add to different minorities and then to different neighborhoods and different towns, because you may be a white guy, okay, like here in San Antonio, you may be a white guy that lives on the east side in a real high gang-infested area, but they're not going to care that you're a white guy. They're going to get a call about somebody in such and such block, so they're going to go in there prepared, for violence already off top, just because the neighborhood they're going in, let alone the person that they're going to interact with. So it's
a lot of people say that there's no evidence of racism in the police system, but I'm here to tell you right now that the reason why there's no evidence, it's not really each individual officer that's racist. It's not. It's the whole system is fixed so that it causes racism. Because I think it was it Second Son, he was just saying that legally there's no racism in law enforcement. Is that what he said? Yes, that's true. Legally, what did he say? I missed that.
Go ahead.
Legally, it's really hard to prove any cop individually is racist because you have to prove motive and you have to prove intent. Like if somebody's robbing a bank, right? Their intent is to grab the money, but their motive was because they have a sick kid at home and they need the money for that. So there's intent and motive. So it's easy to prove intent, but it's hard to prove motive with cops. That's why we can't press charges against cops that are racist, because you can't get into their head and prove what the motive is. And legally, you have to prove motive to get them. But how the whole system is set up is, if you notice, all these new laws that came about all came after the Jim Crow laws from the South, right? And the war on drugs. So you're talking about your East Side thing. They don't care if you're white. All they do is they patrol only the black neighborhoods or only the poor neighborhoods. Only there. There's more cocaine in the white neighborhoods, but they're not going to patrol the white neighborhoods. They're going to patrol the black neighborhoods, because cops are really wusses, because they're afraid of us, and so they want to go get people that will bow down to them. And rich white people in their neighborhoods, they're not going to bow down. They're going to say, I know this judge, I know this, I know that, and they're educated. Whereas when society keeps these areas, these pockets of people poor and uneducated, it's easy to go in there and get them. It really is. And then let's say you have a section of San Antonio that's bad. I don't know, is that Southside for you guys? Ours is East Side, but you're on the South Side.
There's a few, that other areas consider bad. I mean, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, if you want a cop, you go to that neighborhood. So let's say they arrest somebody out of that neighborhood. They come back in, they get out, they're a felon. They can't get a job because if they disclose it, they can't get food stamps because you're a felon. You can't get housing because you're a felon. You can't live with your grandma who's a felon, who has Section 8 housing, because she's not allowed to harbor a felon, right? So what is that? Felons? Yeah, so that felon can't get a job. Yeah. But now he has to go pay his parole every month. So he doesn't have the money for that. He doesn't have the money for the bus fare to get to parole, so he skips it. What happens? He gets arrested for missing parole. Back in jail. And it's a big cycle, over and over and over, but just in those sections. And that's called the new Jim Crow laws. That's how they keep the black people down in their place, with these kind of things that happen to you after you get out. So they say, there's a black chief of police.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And they justify what they do illegally, like you said, in these neighborhoods, because a lot of people will tell me, well, cops patrol, okay, like, let's say my neighborhood says, well, cops patrol the South Side because there's a lot of crime in there. Well, there's only a lot of crime here because maybe the cops are out looking and creating some of this crime. Like a lot of this shit is victimless crimes that they're just going out and creating. They'll stop somebody for no reason. The guy gets upset, kind of struggles with them. Now he's got a fucking resisting or an assault charge or something along those lines.
Right.
Or disorder.
We need you back out there protecting the people, Slakr. We need you back out there. I mean, I saw you on a stream where you said, well, I just don't have any content to look at. Dude, you're the content. I mean, you're with your friend who got pulled over, and you turned it on because you guys got stopped.
Yeah,
and you said, I don't have any content. Yes, you do. You are the content. So I don't understand why you're not doing it more. Just anytime.
I don't know, man. Like, it's the content to me is seeing the interaction and seeing whether, like I said, whether it's a spur of the moment interaction, like when my friend got pulled over, or whether it's me out exercising. Like I just feel like nothing against individuals who do lives and talk and do all that. Like nothing against them. I'm not trying to say that that's bad either, but me personally, I just feel like I've got nothing to offer. I feel like I'll rant
Yes,
on.
you do. Oh my God, I love to watch you. Man, I love your tabs and everything.
I appreciate it, but that's what I'm saying. Like I said, when I referenced the watered down version earlier, I don't know. Like if I really sat there and fucking just talk, I don't know if the I would start to blur the line to y'all seeing what like my homeboys see, my brother, my homeboys, and my son. Like right now, I'm over here talking like I'm kind of off to the side right now. Like they know me. This is me. Don't get me wrong. But when I'm around them, that comfortability is a lot more. So I've opened up a little more. You understand? Like a little bit more of what people. Oh, you're just a fucking thug. A little more of what people would consider. Oh, you're just a thug would come out. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm ready to put that out there right now.
Well, you know, these people in all these other neighborhoods where the police don't go, they need to see what real life is over there. So even if you're just eating dinner, something, I don't know, you know, let those people in so we can get more of the sheeple turned over.
Already.
That's all I'm saying. So you don't even know who I am. So I'm sorry. I'm just like over here bombarding you with stuff.
No. By all means, please do. Like I said, I know I kind of stash myself away in the cave a lot, so I have no problem. You know, whatever. You know, I got time, so I'm, you know, whatever.
Well, basically, that's all I wanted to call and say was thank you. And
thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll let the next caller come in and do something. All right.
You have a good evening.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Cybertron, once again, man, I'm sorry about your uncle, and, you know, you be safe at work, man.
Yes.
So,
like, I know me personally, like, when things happen to me, I like to go to work, because it kind of helps me focus on something else for a little bit. So I don't know if that'll help him, but I know me, when I was going through my separation, man, going to work was a little bit of a relief, because my mind was put somewhere else for a little bit.
Yeah. If anybody else wants to call in, the line is open. So, I mean, yes, callers are definitely bringing up good points, and then Slakr, as usual, on the ball. Oh, yes, Boomer did text me a question. She wanted to know your thoughts on women being vulgar.
I'm sorry?
Boomer wants to know, what is your take on women being vulgar?
Oh, man, I don't mind. Most of the women in my life are. You know, like, it's, like I said, it's a common occurrence. I got no problem with it. Like, and depending on like, it's depending on what they say. I mean, I kind of like it, man. Like, I like a good stern woman, put you in your place kind of woman, you know. And I don't know, like I said, I grew up around it. My sister, my mom, my daughter, my ex, like, it's a natural occurrence around me. Like, when they get mad, they got no problem putting my ass in the fire.
I don't know why you're buffering, Chuck. I'm not showing any issues on my end, but can't attest for YouTube. Yes, Furry's verdict came back. Furry Potato. 2 charges were hung jury, and the other was not guilty.
Hung jury, how does it?
So, that's for the Rampart case. I don't know if you remember that video when they came out and they pinned her down and they booked her as a transient. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like, more time taken, you know. Yeah, so it's what they do.
Yep. Let's see. Boomer says, the reason I ask is because some of us women are looked down on because we have potty mouths. So, she's right. I mean, I have noticed that sometimes.
And, you know, like I said, to each his own. I'm sure that y'all aren't always just running around, you know, cussing and all that. Well, depending, like I said, because I'm pretty vulgar. I cuss quite a bit. But, I mean, doesn't. I don't judge the fucking like. Oh my god, that woman is saying fuck and shit and cunt. And she's such a bad person. Nah. Like I said, same thing with tattoos. Like I know girls that are tatted and pretty vulgar, but so, I mean, some of the most hardcore friends, like I said, people that I die for, and I know would probably in return do the same for me. But I know some also that are pretty decent, clean-cut women that are the same way.
Hello?
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 Is this Brian?
Yeah?
Hi, Brian.
Who's this?
I show up as Judy Winder, but my name is Pam, and I live in Colorado, and I would love to talk to you guys. Let's talk about female profanity. That's pretty current on what I'm watching, and the content is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, well, you're live on speaker with me and Slacker.
Okay, well, I have a potty mouth when I want to, but I was also raised in a way that when grandma and little babies and nuns were in the room, you know, maybe you could control the words you chose. And I think it's effective at times to have vulgarity involved. But on the other side, I also think it detracts from the seriousness of the subject matter. You know, and I'm in Colorado. Somewhere between 9 and 10 people have been shot or involved in shootouts with police officers since the first of the year. I'm exhausted. Keeping up with it is sad. And I appreciate all of you people that are out there trying to affect change.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's, you know, especially with what just happened with Cybertron's uncle, we can't even get an answer on what happened.
Well, I'm not sure what one that is. Cybertron is out of Greeley, from what myself and my husband, who try to track and be involved as much as we can, we believe he's out of Greeley, Colorado. Regan would be my most direct contact, and she's out of town right now. There was a gentleman shot last night, or maybe even Wednesday night, like 48 hours ago, in a bedroom community of Greeley, Colorado, Evans. And it was someone who was in a police chase, and a police officer also got shot. The police officer lived. The individual, who is still unnamed and unidentified, it did not survive, apparently. There was a police shooting in Colorado Springs that's still very unidentified, looks like a member of possibly a homeless community. There was a police shooting in Pueblo, Colorado. A 14-year-old, I can't not start raging about this. He had an air gun. And there are differences. We live out here in Colorado. This is the wild, wild west. We're like Texas. People are armed. Nobody's taken our arms. People are armed and skilled, by the way. And to have a 14-year-old enjoying being a young person with an air gun, life ended by police. I can't keep up, Brian. I can't keep up.
I know.
I'm glad you guys are out there doing everything you do. Everything to you and Monkey and Taylin and Boomer and all the people that are trying to keep some semblance of civilization. We're trying to have a civilization up here, people. Alive.
where we don't predate upon one another. Breaking my heart. I live here in Colorado. You know, like I said, I'm living in the wild, wild west. Eric Brandt's in jail for sidewalking chalk, please.
Yeah, I can hear the passion in your voice. I understand what you're saying, and I mean, we can only do what we can do and try to make a difference. You know, Slakr he's a pioneer himself in this movement. You know, he's kind of the I don't want to say he's the originator of vulgarities, but he's certainly one of the first people that I'm aware of that was really very strongly opinionated and had no bones about voicing those opinions. And that's what I appreciate about it.
But I get what she's saying. Like earlier on in her statement, she said how the use of profanity she thinks could kind of diminish someone seeing the message. But like I said, in her case, I just got to ask a question. When you watch the videos, like let's say mine, for instance, when I am pretty profane and pretty out there. Do you see where the cop does wrong in any of those videos?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
I'm very much a freedom fighter in the belief of regional freedom. I'm from Colorado.
I'm not trying to start a conflict. I'm sorry to interrupt. I don't want to mislead you and think I'm trying to start a conflict. I only ask because, no doubt, you see that the cop does do something wrong, but then like you just believe that my actions are a little over the top, and no doubt, I agree with that. I'm not
saying.
I'm not saying it's personally right. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to. I don't want to miss. Yeah.
No. I believe that it's all context. Monkey, love you, Monkey. Monkey said something earlier about context and profanity and how you say things and how they monetize you and how things are taken. And your loved one can tell you to fuck off in a manner that doesn't degrade any love you have for them, because you know exactly what they mean and exactly why they said it that way. So context is very important. And no, I believe that you're in your community, and how your community has developed and the way it communicates with its citizens and with its activists and with its fringe elements is the text of all of this. That every human being needs to be treated with the same level of respect. And these public servants play a game. I play it in sales, but I'm in sales. We have lots of free will to play it that way. When you're a civil servant and you have the ability to put someone in a cage, no, you don't have that same freedom of game of language. You have to be very direct and very precise. When I am closing a contract, I am negotiating in a contract, and I am legally liable for the lies I tell people. And a police officer is no different. And a person without the opportunity for understanding the entirety of the system is no different. It's all about presenting exact truth and exact information. And when people start intimidating, threatening, hurting, violating people to get a different truth, they create evil. And we are all fighting evil. Wow, I'm awful. You guys better make some comments.
Do you have any questions for Slakr? Or?
I have a question for Slakr. I loved your comments about how I so worry about people that care and have heart and concern, and yet they also have a child to pick up from volleyball practice at 4:30, and they have a job to get to in the morning, and they have certain pieces of mail that have to be processed within the next 48 hours. I want to see a community of people looking for freedom, looking for support, looking for this, everything you guys are talking about, that isn't judging every single one by what they can and what they can't do that day. Because that's how I believe the beast breaks us down. I just firmly believe that, because there's a beauty in being responsible to those that you're responsible for. When you have family and loved ones and children you created and people you've signed off on and said, yeah, I'm going to take care of that person. Okay, you need that's beautiful. And then when you are able to achieve that and be responsible for those people and also have extra resources and extra time to take care of people that nobody else is looking out after, okay, that's where we're going. That's beautiful. That's sunshine. That's healthy. That's growth. Can I get a hey to know you guys are there?
I don't mean to cut this short, but I don't want to take up too much per call, and let somebody else kind of call in.
I'm crazy, and I called in, and you know what, Brian King? I have enjoyed so much of your content, and Southside,
thank you.
Keep it up and keep it up. Keep fighting it. And I'm worried about your mom, Brian King. I just said goodbye to my mom not too long ago, and God bless your moms. Everybody step up and love their mom.
Well, thank you for that.
So, oh, hell yeah. You guys, I can see your genuinity in the content you put out. And the internet is so full of content that the fact that I've kind of nailed it down and I'm on the air with you guys, pretty unbelievable. I think you guys are both very genuine, loving, heartfelt people. And if we could get more of us all together, we could change this fucking world.
Well, thank you.
Let's do it. It's a small movement. Let's do it. I'm going to cry. You guys make me cry. Thanks for letting me on.
All right.
Well, thank you for calling, Judy.
You guys are awesome, and I'm going to hang up now, and love to all of you. I appreciate any person who's out there trying to make the world a better place, because we just start with our own first steps. Love and peace. Love and peace. That's where it's at.
Thank you. Guys, I know everybody's kind of saying, get back to Slack or whatever, but, calls like that are just as important, because that shows us that people are out there appreciating whatever it is we're doing. How, I may not be able to be out in the streets right now, but I'm trying to do the best I can with what I got. And, Slakr has made a hell of a difference and a hell of an impact. And it's really nice to hear things like that. Very appreciative.
It's real humbling, yeah, man. Like it is.
So, if anybody else you want to call, if you got questions for Slakr, now's the time to do it. We're going up on almost 2 hours here. I don't want to take up his whole night, but I know people.
Right. This is what, if I wasn't in here, I'd be inside watching probably It's Always Sunny or Archer, just killing time until bed for work tomorrow. So I mean, it's taking up pretty much of nothing.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you, man. I enjoy every time we talk. So hey, High Desert, man, what's up? High Desert's here, Slakr.
Oh, how you do? I mean, he's someone I've been watching since I first started too, man. Another big influence, man. And yeah, like again, like there's certain people that when they come in the room and when you see them, you do kind of feel like that. Almost, I guess that's what people talk about me, like, oh wow, you know, like I don't want to say idolize, but you know, like I said, help me out, help me get me out there. Because he's another one that's abrasive and I don't want to, like, he doesn't cuss everybody out all hardcore dickhead, but he's another one that says it how he feels. You know, he's not worried. The way I perceive it is he's not worried if the other guy gets butt hurt. You know, this is who I am. This is how I speak. This is how I interact, and this is what you get. Like, I'm not worried about your feelings. I'm worried about my rights. You know, so again, yeah, I love him.
Yeah, High Desert's awesome, and you know, everybody, much respect. You know, and like you said, he's been around a while. He's established his style, and you know, I don't see people questioning him. You know, I mean, I don't know why that keeps coming up so much, but
I mean, to each their own. Like I said, I got no hatred or no love lost for someone if they don't like the way I approach things. You know what I'm saying? I'll still sit and I don't drink, but I'll still sit and I'll drink a soda while they have a beer and have a talk with them. You know, we're allowed to have that opposite of opinion. People just need to have more open mind towards that. You know, like that's my personal belief. You know, like that's all it is. I don't care that you don't like how I interact with cops. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not out there with me. I wouldn't even put you in that situation. You can ask when I went on one of my very first group audits with the Batusai and Soulless and all of them. When I went out there, I made sure to really watch how I interacted with the cops because I didn't want to make the Batusai uncomfortable to put him in a situation that he himself doesn't normally put himself in. You know what I'm saying? So I do consider the people I'm around with how I react with officers, because if I'm out with my mom, I'm not going to put her in a situation that's going to make her uncomfortable. I'll still be me, but I'm going to tone it down to a level that I know she's willing to accept. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm with, you know, my niece or my nephew, I'm not going to, you know, put them in a situation that's going to, you know, risk anything to happen to them. So I do give a shit about who I'm with and how they themselves choose to interact with officers. I may not ID, but I may not cuss them out.
yeah, well, High Desert said some people like Fords, some people like Chevys.
Amen.
Ford.
I grew up a Ford person, but I've slowly fallen in love with Dodge. So.
Well, no, I like Chrysler too. Don't get me wrong, especially older, you know, Mopar and that. But I'm still, I did a lot of off-roading and built a lot of off-road trucks, and the 78, 79 Bronco, man, that was my baby. So I could drive up a flat wall with that truck. But so phone lines are open, guys. Anybody wants to call in? High Desert, if you want to call in. Hey, Pio. We've got people from across the pond in here now. Well, Wobbly's here. He's from Australia. Isn't it late there, Wobbly?
And I'll tell you what made me think. 20 years ago, when I was, wow, that's a long time ago, when I was 17, the possibility of any of these interactions reaching across the world weren't even thought of. You know what I mean? Like, the thought that I could put how these cops were treating me on blast wasn't even a concept in my mind. And now, like you said, you got people from Australia, people from Europe, people from Germany, people from, you know what I'm saying, like from all across the world watching and seeing these when, yeah, and that's what it needs.
Hey, High Desert.
Hey, Brian.
What's up, man? You're on the air.
Yeah, I just wanted to call, man, and I know that's a subject that a lot of people deal with the auditors as far as styles and stuff. But yeah, I just wanted to say that the reason why I like Southside Slakr and people like that, like Mexican Padilla and SRCC Prez and people like that, is because they don't give up an inch, you know. And the cussing doesn't bother me. I think if you're an adult, I think if cussing bothers you, I think you're stuck in some kind of childhood thing, because I don't know about you guys, but do you guys remember when we were little, we were told we couldn't cuss until we were adults?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like when I was little, I would hear my parents and everybody cussing, and then I'd say like, "Damn," and they're like, "Hey, don't cuss. You're not old enough." So maybe people weren't taught right or something, and yeah, it might be political correctness or something, but if cussing turns you off as an adult, I don't know, man. I just I don't understand that, but that's why I like watching people like Southside and people like Mexican Padilla, Freeman, and people like that. They don't give up an inch, man, and they keep it real. Especially like Slakr and myself, we come from the streets, so what you see is what you get. I'll rather have 1,000 subs that love me for who I am than 10,000 that they know who I am, than 10,000 that think I'm somebody else. So yeah, man, that for me, I just wanted to call and let that kind of set that straight. That the cussing shouldn't play a role. That it's our butt on the line, so we do it our way, and we can't play nobody else. We're off better playing ourselves. So when you see Southside Slakr and he goes off on those cops, that's who he really is. And us who are that come from that kind of world, we understand him, man. But that being said, whether you cuss or you don't cuss, it's the fact that you stand up for yourself. That's the underlining thing in all of Southside videos, is the fact that he stands up for himself. And I think that's the part that we should all be noticing, whether it's News Now Houston or whoever does it, if they do it polite or whoever. It's all the same, UFC is the same way. There's fighters, but there's 100 different ways to knock somebody out.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just there's just different styles, different ways. But I just wanted to call and actually just thank Southside, man, for he says he used to watch me, but we all started about the same time, man. When we were doing it, we didn't have that many people to look up to. There was only about 20, 30 of us.
I was just saying, because you did, like, seeing you out there, like I said, just being you, not being afraid to, like I said, and it's not even about the vulgarity, but not being afraid to, even if it did slip out here and there, even if you were calling them, chumps or, kickbacks or whatnot, you had no problem just telling them how you felt. And like I said, that's the kind of shit that helped me be like, you know what? It isn't about being nice and being politically correct. It's just about being me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm out there, whatever happens, happens. It's not about, making sure I act a certain way, making sure I do a certain thing. Just let it roll. Just do you, and take it for what it is. Like I said, we did start about the same. There's a lot of us that did, but it's funny because, like, seeing y'all even that early, that's what was helping push me to it, man. Because early on, it wasn't really that kind of thought about that this is the right or wrong way. It was just the thought of, man, this dude's standing up for himself. And so when I saw you doing it, when I saw SA, Ecstasy, when I saw, like I said earlier, Joe Citizen Ho, when I saw these individuals just standing up, it's like, yeah, that's what it's about. It's not about how you stand up. It's just about standing up.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what I respect. Honestly, Southside, hey, bro, I fight alongside you anytime, brother. And let me tell you something. I would rather, I'm like the movie The 300, man. I would rather fight with the 300 than with 1,000 knuckleheads. So,
already, as I say, I regret when y'all all came to town that I didn't get a chance, man. But like I said, work just eats up so much time, man. But definitely, I have trips out to California planned just because, like I said, I've been out there and it's a beautiful state. And when I go out there, I'll definitely hit you up and not even just on the audience thing, go out and have dinner or something, man, and just kick back.
Yeah,
man, just so we can, I've looked up to you, we've looked up to each other, man. Like I said, we started this, when I started this, there wasn't, you remember that we were the ones hitting it hard. There wasn't nobody else to kind of look up to except a couple channels, and there wasn't a lot of guidance, and we had to kind of pave the way ourselves, our own road. So yeah, I just wanted to call, man, mostly just to say thank you for all that you've done, and sorry for all the shit that you've been put through, man, through fucking cops, But yeah, you're definitely a staple in this movement, bro. Everybody knows about you, and I just wanted to say call and say thank you for all you've done and all you do, man.
Oh shit, I appreciate it, man. Like, you don't realize that means quite a bit, man. I thank you as well, man. That's awesome. Fuck yeah.
It's just funny because High Desert said that about, you know, our parents used to tell us when, you know, you can't curse till you're older. It got me laughing because, you know, I grew up straight inner city ghetto, all that, gangs, all that. And it was funny because my mom told me and my brother, dog, when we got to like 10, 11, 12 years old, she's like, you can only curse if you're singing along the songs. And of course, it was like Fresh Prince and all that, you know. But then all of a sudden, NWA came out and Ghetto Boys came out. And of course, she said we could curse to the songs.
Yeah.
So it was hilarious.
The loophole, yeah.
That's funny. No, yeah. The thing about political correctness, man, is that the cops are not playing by those rules. So if we think that we're going to win this fight by playing political correctness, it's like playing by the rules of someone that cheats. You know, you're never going to win because they're cheating.
Exactly.
So you have to find. You don't have to cheat yourself, but you can find other conventional ways to play the game without being cheated on. And that's when people like Southside Slakr210, you look at a lot of the people that have come up, and a lot of people that are popular, myself and other people, we have looked at people like Southside Slakr210 and the Texas guys to see how things were done. You know, so yeah, it's just we all need to look to each other. We all need to respect each other. And if someone cusses or whatever, oh my God, you guys, please fucking grow up. You know, we're all adults. You know, and a couple cuss words. You know, sticks and stones. Remember, sticks and stones. So, with all being said, I want to say good night, man. Southside Slakr210, much respect. Brian, thank you for always highlighting everybody, man, and showing people some, you know, for highlighting people and some people don't know about, and for helping out the movement, Brian. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, man.
Hey, man, good night, man, and much love, and the help that you do, man, because he's always putting out videos to help put out new channels, man, and that's mad love.
Thank you, man. Everybody have a good night. Much love.
You too.
Trump said was trying to call in, but of course it was in use. Trump said if you want to try calling back, you can.
Yeah, that was cool, man.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. And to all the people that did toss me a few bucks on PayPal and in Super Chats, thank you very much. I do appreciate it.
Because he's right, man. When I first jumped on, there wasn't a lot. Like, obviously, I was watching the Texas guys because they're local, but as far as Texas guys, there wasn't too many, man. And, man, I binge-watched the shit out of his station.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I still do, man. Like, even videos I've already seen, I'm still doing rewatching.
If you want, I could pass him your number.
I mean, I have no problem with that. I mean, it's all up to him. You can give it to him, and if he uses it, awesome. And if not, I'm not gonna feel butthurt and be like, "Oh, this fucked up. He didn't want to reach out." Like, no. I mean, by all means, yeah. And if he chooses to, hell yeah. Not,
yeah, he's
no love, you know.
He's very humble, man. He's great to talk to offline. Just a very humble guy. So. Yeah. Come on, damn it. You there?
Yeah, what's going on?
This is Trump Said. You're on the air, man.
Hey, man, I just got a question about how you guys feel when some of these younger, new generation auditors come in the game and they have some atrocious things to say about other auditors. Maybe for a while. And then it creates a conflict between auditors. And my question is, does an old school auditor have some sort of responsibility to teach or to train or to tolerate some ignorance, or is it we put down our foot and say, look, you're out of line, you know, make fun, make jokes of them? Some shit's going on in the auditing world. Battles between auditors is my concern. And I think we're all on the same team, but I want to hear both you guys' opinion.
Slakr, you want to run with that?
No, I mean, that's a hard one because like I said, I've been one to quickly jump online and call people out that have left fucked up comments and things in my in my comment section early on, and even now I still feel the urge to on occasion. But it's hard to say because I don't know, how offended. Not like offended, like I said, I don't care if I offended somebody, but like if someone said something to me that would make me want to respond, I don't know the level that it would take the next person to want to respond. So, I mean, it's hard to say because I'd want to put my foot down. I'd want to tell the motherfucker, you know what, you want to call me out, you want to, say these things about me, you pretty much open the door to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't fuck with nobody. Like I said the other day, that's why I went into the other chat room because somebody real quick wanted to take what I said, put it in another chat room, and start being like, oh, so-and-so. So I went and addressed it real quick. I'm on the notion that as soon as you put my name out there, I want to address that subject, whether it's public or whether it's private. It doesn't matter to me, but I'm going to put it out there and let you know that, this is how I feel. This is how, whatever steps you want to take, we can take them. So, I mean, if a person crosses that line, I don't know how much a person is willing to take individually to say whether it's over the line or anything. So, I mean, it's a touchy subject, and that's why I kind of try to stay out of that shit. But sometimes it's called for, and sometimes it's not. It's a situation by situation basis. Because some people will try to just fucking talk shit about someone who, let's say, like High Desert or myself, or someone like who has I'm only at 20, who has a group of followers. Let's say who's got like 80,000 followers. Like maybe they just start talking shit about them because they know the mention of that will draw people to their shit, to draw people to their channel, to draw people to their stream. So they mention it just to get the traffic, and then they know somebody's gonna take the bait. Like I'm of the old school, man. You say my name, there's consequences to that. But like I said, I don't know, it's hard because these new school guys, not all of them, but some of the guys just coming in aren't realizing the consequences they face just out auditing, let alone calling out another auditor, because you're calling out another man or woman, respectively, but you're calling out another man. If you put my name out there, I personally am going to want to address that. And y'all know how I get. I'm pretty upfront, vulgar, and straight up with the confrontation. Like, you can either address me or you can fuck off, or we can handle it, we can talk about it, we can knuckle up, we can whatever. Like, I'm not going to sit on the keyboard back and forth with you all day, but I'll sit there for a little bit and see where you're at and take it from there. So it's hard to say because you're attacking another man. So, man, I don't know. It's horrible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we do have situations that come up where we got newer guys that... Well, let's just take, for example, everybody's already aware of this, but Cajun Auditor of the Bayou.
Exactly. Like that's what I knew. That's what the question was referring to. And again, like I said many times, I know both parties. I've got nothing against both parties, but I'm not gonna lie. Had Cajun said my name like that, I'd be calling him out too. Had he said the stuff that he said, I'd be calling him out too. Like not really so much just because it's public, but that's the only way we can get in contact with each other. Like, I may not have somebody's number, so the only way he's going to get my message is to put a video out there, let him see it, and let him respond to it. If he wants to get in contact with me, there's several people in the community that have my number that may not give it to him, but can create a form of contact between us. You know what I'm saying? So if he wants to take it offline, we can take it offline. But you put my name out there in front of, whether it be hundreds, thousands, millions, whatever, you put my name out there, and then you said some shit about me, you know what I'm saying, that I took, like you're calling me out as a man, so I'm going to respond. So, to my knowledge, the Ecstasy doesn't have his number, he can't reach him personally, so the next best thing is, okay, this is what you think about me, this is what I think about you, why don't you hit me up, you know what I'm saying, like, so in retrospect to that situation, like I said, and I love both of them, I got nothing against either one of them, you know what I'm saying, I know both of them, I don't know Cajun personally because he lives in Louisiana, but I know S.A. personally. You know what I'm saying? He's a great dude. You know what I'm saying? I can say that the shit that Cajun said got me upset. You know what I'm saying? As a friend of S.A.X, it got me upset.
What about what Patrick has done? What about what Patrick been calling something like that on another auditor?
Okay, I'm sorry. You broke up. I heard Pat, and then you started breaking up.
What about what News Now Patrick, they're claiming that he called the law on another auditor or something? Well, I don't know you know, if I would call the law on somebody, I'm like you, brother. If somebody's going to say something, then, and they're going to call my name out, then I'm going to contact that individual by whatever means necessary and get it straightened out. But now we have auditors calling on auditors or some crazy shit. I mean, it's not just that one incident, is my point. There's battles, factions of auditors, it seems like, and what that creates is divide within the community. And I respect your name, I respect your position, and I also respect both of those other auditors. Unfortunately, there's division within the community, and my point is to fix it.
Oh, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I just feel like, no doubt that these things get made public because, like I said, it may be the only way we have a way to reach each other. But, oh shit, I kind of lost my train of thought for a second. But more or less, like, I don't know, the people need to squash it out rather than keep it going.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think a lot of people are willing to see things to that end. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's, oh man, it's hard to explain because like they're calling the cops on somebody. Some people, and again, I know Patrick a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I haven't hung out with him as much as I have. You know what I'm saying? Like SA or Texas Sheepdog, but some people just aren't of the environment of that level. You know what I'm saying? Like if he felt he had to call the cops, because I don't know the situation, if he felt his physical safety and life was in danger and was in need for the cops to be called, then that's his personal judgment he has to make. You know what I'm saying? Some people aren't ready to take it to that level, and some people, I don't know, but like I said, the internet and that keyboard, you feel a little tough. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people, you know, they make their bed, but they're not ready to lie in it. And
exactly.
I'm not saying any specific situation. I'm not saying the Cajun or the Patrick or the any situation you put anywhere, but just on the division aspect. People make these beds and then aren't ready to lie in them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, bro. Yeah, it causes divide, bro, in the community. All right, one more question. I'm gonna let you go, bro. I respect your time and everybody else's. One more question.
Yes.
Mike the cop, and real police talk, and all these officers or whatever you call them, okay, come on this program, and they have opinions. None of them have ever been an auditor. They've all been cops, okay? Well, what we need to do is have auditors that also have law enforcement experience. So we have auditors that used to be cops. And when we have a panel, we should have an auditor that has law enforcement experience, so these cops ain't saying, well, have you ever been to a law enforcement academy? How do you know what we go through? You know, and they criticize auditors because you're not in their shoes. Well, there's people that have walked in both shoes.
We do.
Okay? And I think that when you guys make your points clearly, and they degrade you for profanity, they degrade you for saying all cops, they degrade the auditors for just general terms, I think that that's a deflection and a distraction from the point of the conversation. So when they deflect and distract like that, you don't have a defense. You've never been to a law enforcement academy. Whereas you have a panel member with you, brother, that's been to an academy, that's lived and walked in both sets of shoes. I think it might benefit the auditor community to be able to defend itself in the face of these fake law enforcement officers or whatever the hell they are.
You're right. I am working on that. That was my fault. I let the Mike the Cop panel get out of hand. That is completely my fault. We do have several ex-officers, including one in the channel right now, Catilla the Hun. She's previously an officer. We also have Police State New Jersey. And we have...
let's shut them down, Brian. Let's shut their ass down, because I'm tired of it.
Well, I'm working on it.
Them degrading auditors that have spent years and years and years fighting the good fight and trying to come up with some bullshit about going to a police academy. Okay?
But
I'm tired
that's a
of them
part of the
saying
game
that they
plan
know
because
the law. They know the law, and we don't know the law. Well, we do know the law. And we've been through the police academy, and we walked in both sets of shoes, brother. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry it takes so long. Everybody else wants to call in. Brother, keep rocking and rolling. That's all I can say.
yeah, not a problem. And you know what I'm saying? And I could use that same notion, man. Yeah, I haven't been to a police academy, but have they been where I've been? You know what I mean? Have they experienced what I experienced? That's just all subject, you know? So it's just another way, like you said, to deflect the subject. Like, I put myself, you know, I blanket statement cops all the time because more than 90% of my lifetime interactions with cops have been negative. So, of course, when I see a cop, my first instinct, like, I know people who who don't have criminal records have told me when they see a cop pull them over, their heartbeat goes up. And they don't know why. They instantly get scared. And they have no idea why. They have no criminal record. They're doing nothing illegal. They just instantly get scared because the cop is pulling them over. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then the motherfucker's like, oh, you don't know what we go through. You chose this job. You weren't drafted to be a fucking cop. You chose that fucking job, and now you want sympathy because you put yourself and you create dangerous situations. You want my fucking sympathy? You got me fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what happens to you. You treat people like shit all the time, and then you want us to sympathize with you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here, man.
You're right, man. You know, Slacker, I completely agree. You know, like I said, I let that panel get out of hand, and that was my fault. But, yeah, I don't know if you got a chance to watch any of that at all. But what really pissed me off were, yeah, that real police talk guy's just a fool. But I've extended invitations to him several times, and he ignores me. But that Mike the cop, though, the one thing that ticked me off was when I brought up the whole red bandana thing. And I made a blanket statement. I said that all police, they're going to see a group of us in the hood with red bandanas hanging off us, and the first instinct they're going to think is gangs and a gang sign. And he's like, oh, no, that's not true. I know thousands of cops, and they don't believe that. I've never met a cop in my life that would not think gang sign. Right?
Yeah. Like I said, I get asked all the time, man, where were you locked up at? Where were you locked up at?
Yep.
I get asked that, so what, they're blanketing me? I get asked that, oh, where were you locked up at? Where'd you get those tats at? What gang are you with? Fuck out of here, bro. What gang are you with?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, see, at least, Law and Smoke, he's actually, hey, High Desert, while you're in here, Law and Smoke, he's an ex-cop turned law professor who actually wants to go out and do an audit.
Okay, I'm sorry not to interrupt, but I just remembered something I wanted to say. It goes into this. The reason all these fucking cops, ex-cops are on here, like that one gentleman who did, I don't know his name, I saw the video, fat guy with the porn stash, you just said his name.
Real police talk.
That guy right there. The reason people like him get out there is because when people watch these videos, who are they more inclined to believe knows what they're talking about? Me, who's out there cussing at the cop, or this Ron Jeremy looking motherfucker who says he's a retired police officer? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are they gonna believe? They're not gonna believe the vulgar gangbanger who's cussing at the cops. They're gonna believe the retired officer who served his community. So they're going to put these propaganda videos out there to demonize us and to make us look like we're idiots and we're stupid and we're crazy, because the average Joe, the average sheep is just going to believe what this retired cop, the retired cop must know what he's talking about. He's an officer. How many cops know fucking a fraction of any law besides the one that they use to violate people's rights? You know what I'm saying? Not one cop. They're always telling me, where'd you get your law degree from? Where'd you get yours from? I feel like every cop should mandatory have to go through some kind of law training in order to know and understand the laws we pay them to enforce. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't go to a bakery and get a job at a bakery and never learn how to bake and still keep my job.
Yup. You're dead on, man. It's like when I brought up the whole sidewalk litigation shit. It's like, we can sit there and say, I know the law allows me to do this. And they won't go and verify whether or not I'm right. They assume they are.
You can give them penal codes and they won't believe you.
Yeah, I mean, you can give them exact references, everything. I mean, like that guy that was on the phone earlier, second son. He's a linguist, okay? So the guy's like memorizes everything he reads, and he quotes law, section, paragraph, you name it.
That's awesome.
And they still don't care. They don't. They do not go and verify that. All they care about is what they think is right.
Yep.
And that's what ticks me off a lot, because I see it all the time. I mean, I had it happen to me when me and Bullet SpongeBob were out. Sheriff came over and was like, you can't do that. That's illegal. You're not allowed to film the jail. I'm like, I'm on a public sidewalk. How are you going to tell me I can't film?
I was just saying, and they're supposed to remain unbiased to situations, but they're completely biased because the situation I was in, some years back, a lady friend of mine, drinking at my house, got drunk, wanted to leave, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, like lady friend as insignificant other, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to put business out there, she may not want all of her shit out there. Trying to leave, I'm like, no, you can't leave, you know what I'm saying? She's like, well, I'm going to leave, so she attempts to leave, so I call the cops, and I'm like, can y'all get somebody over here, at least take her to her mom's or something like that? She's drunk, she wants to leave. I'm not trying to have this drunk woman walk in at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning through some pretty fucking rough neighborhoods. So the cops are like, I called non-emergency. They're like, all right, we'll have an officer on the way. So she fucking bounces. So I'm following after. I'm like, please, I'm trying to get people on the phone, like people we know, someone come pick her up. So we're getting there. She says, I'm calling the cops. I'm like, please call the fucking cops. I'm like, I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm trying to get you somewhere fucking safe. I'm like, please call the cops. She calls the cops. Within 5 minutes, they get there. Dude jumps out and fucking hymns me up and grabs me by the arm. What the fuck are you doing, bro? We got to call about a woman needing help, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, she's fucking drunk. I'm trying to get her a fucking ride, dude. You're coming up here treating me like I'm the fucking asshole, bro. Why don't you do her fucking solid and take her to her mom's, you fucking dick? Like, I'm sorry getting mad at his ass, but he instantly, I call the cops 30, 45 minutes, nobody comes to help this woman. I'm like, dude, she's trying to fucking leave. She's drunk. I need somebody to help her. You know what I'm saying? She calls the cops. Boom, they're there in 5 minutes and treating me like I'm out there beating her. You know what I mean?
Yep. You're right, man. And I'm sure, as soon as he looked at you, it's instant profiling.
Dude, instant profile me. He sees the neighborhood. He sees me. He's like, oh, dude, fuck this guy. Jumps out and, like I said, puts hands on me. Throws me in cuffs. The female officer comes up, and I'm like, man, can you believe this dude? I go, I'm the motherfucker who called you. I told him I called y'all 30, 45 minutes ago, man. Where the fuck y'all even been at, man? You know what I'm saying? I called, asked for some help, and y'all totally blew me off. I go, she calls, and y'all jump out here like I'm some fucking wife beater. You know what I'm saying? Fucking holding her at hostage and shit.
Yep.
I go, I told her, so you can look at my fucking phone logs. I've been calling people for the last 20, 30 minutes trying to fucking pick her up so she ain't walking, 2 hours across town, Where the fuck are y'all at, man? Talking about safety and shit. Y'all are worried about people's safety. Where the fuck are y'all at? Because she wasn't going to stay, and I'm not going to fucking restrain her. She wanted to walk out the door. Walk your fucking drunk ass out the door. But I'm following you and making sure you're all right until something happens, until you get somewhere, someone picks you up. You know what I'm saying? She's out there screaming, leave me alone. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until I know you're all right. I'll call the cops. Call the fucking cops, bitch. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. You're right. All you're trying to do is look out for somebody's safety, and look what happened. So, it's just, I'm tired of the instant profiling. I'm tired of the, you know what I hate is, you can take your Walmart law degree and go somewhere. We say you can't do that. Oh, that pisses me off.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with a citizen being informed? Do I have to have a law degree, which, I'd like to one day maybe possess so I can throw it in their face when they throw that shit at me, but just, you don't need that. Why do I need a law degree to know my basic rights as a human being? You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to have gone to law school to know this stuff? This shit used to be taught in school. Used to be.
Yup. Yeah, we've talked about that before. My daughter is going to be 18. She's a senior in high school. And I've been teaching her what she knows about the Constitution. They don't teach it at all. It's ridiculous. So, oh man, these are topics that I could go on forever about because it bothers me so much. So, does anybody else?
I'll get to ranting on a lot of these, man.
Yeah. Well, it's true, though. If anybody else wants to call, now's the time. We've been going for 2 hours and 20 minutes now, so... Yeah, High Desert. I really would like to hook up. He's in, Law and Smoke is in Southern California, but he said he's willing to drive. You know, this is a guy who's an ex-cop law professor, and he really wants to audit and see what it's like from our point of view. So I think that's fantastic, because he teaches the next generation of cops. So I think that's important. So I would love to set him up with you to go out one day. Alright, I'll give him your number. So, yeah, guys, there's a call-in number. If you want to call in, now's the time. Otherwise, you know, start shutting it down. And I think we had a pretty good show. A lot of information talked about. And it's nice to hear from you again, Slacker.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, I know I usually, you know, stay hidden in the shadows, but I lurk. I'm around. I just, like you said, if I feel like if I don't got no content, no need to just rant and ramble.
Yeah. So, then nobody wants to call in, huh? Well, I appreciate everybody coming out and hanging out, and, you know, I definitely appreciate you, Slacker, taking the time. You know, it's always good to spread knowledge, so that's what this is all about. And I'd love to get you on a panel with more people at some point.
Yeah, just let me know. Like I said, work eats up a lot of time, but yeah, I can definitely start freeing up a little time.
So, alright, well, nobody's calling, so I'm going to turn off the Google line. And, alright, guys, well, I appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. And, to those that did Super Chats and a couple of PayPals, I appreciate it. And, yeah, you too, High Desert, man. Much respect, man. High Desert's taking off.
Alrighty, man. You have a good evening, man. It was very, 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 very nice and a pleasure to talk to you, man. That shit, like I said, it was a highlight.
Well, hey, I'm glad I could do that then. So, and like I said, I'll pass him your number as well. Alright, guys, well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and just keep an eye out for the next one, and we'll see who I can get to come on here next. Until then, I guess I'll see you all on the next one.